Assalamualaikum and good afternoon to everyone here. Welcome to the BASE Initiative Outreach Program of 2022-23. Before we start with anything, to get a gist of what BASE is, let's watch this introductory video.
POV, you just finished SPM. After 2 years of hell, you finally made it out alive and you just want to rest. But hey, instead of that, why don't you apply for scholarships? Yeah, we don't think it's such a good deal either, so let's ask some scholars if it's even worth it.
Hi. Hello, my name is Muhammad Mikael bin Taufik. People usually call me Mika, and I'm a Yayasan Kazana scholar. Right now, I'm doing finance, and I dream of joining the largest banks in Malaysia.
Hi, my name is Sophia and I'm a Bank Negara scholar. I'm currently studying economics and I plan to delve into the world of economics and banking.
Hi, my name is Almi Aijaz bin Hasna Sarudin and I'm a Petronas scholar currently studying at K1. I take chemical engineering and I look to help Malaysia tackle their climate change efforts in the future.
Researching scholarships after SPM was like really hectic. It was just this storm of information that I could barely make sense of. So I really got my information from a lot of different places. Sometimes I got it from teachers, sometimes counselors, sometimes friends. Some of the sources aren't very good, but some of the sources really helped me out. So there were certain websites that were dedicated to scholarships, like Base Initiative and AfterSchool.my, and these were the ones that really helped me out.
I would say there wasn't a specific way I found out about scholarships. I had sources such as social media. That played a huge role because a lot of my friends would share posts about scholarships through their Instagram stories, so that was really useful.
To be honest, I didn't really know about any scholarships at the time. The only one I know was Petronas because people say Petronas gives out scholarships. So I just looked up the Petronas scholarship, and the more I looked around, the more I found out about the other scholarships that are on offer.
Being a scholar, I'm surrounded by some of the most talented people I have ever met in my life, to the point that sometimes it makes me insecure. But because I'm surrounded by these amazing people, I try to remind myself to be a better person every single time I look at them.
I would say mainly being a scholar has given me a sense of purpose, and I think that's because I now have a legitimate responsibility to do the best in whatever I do, and I think that's a very motivating value to hold on to.
Being a scholar and going to a top college in Malaysia has proved quite different from what I'm used to having around me because first of all, you meet a lot more amazing people and because most of them are scholars and you actually feel like you belong with them, and that actually makes me strive to improve myself and explore myself to see what I can really do.
Interesting question. In the long-term future, unfortunately, I don't have anything concrete planned out. But in the short-term future, I just want to fight my way through A-levels because I have to admit that tests are more than challenging. And beyond that, I just really want to get into my dream university.
My current plans for the future is to just do my best in A-levels, get into my dream university, and hopefully I'll start my career with the bank.
So nothing much, just basic nerdy student goals. I want to enroll into my favorite university and probably ace my exams, explore myself, see what talents or passions I do have, and enjoy life.
Definitely. Base Initiative, as I mentioned, there was a lot of sources that I came across when I was researching scholarships, and some of the sources were not as good as others, but Base was one of the most helpful ones. Because when I got onto Base, everything that I needed about every scholarship was already there, so I didn't really need to look at anything else. And once I had it, then that really made my journey to a scholarship a lot more smooth.
I would definitely recommend BASE because when it comes to researching scholarships, you definitely need all of the help you can get, and platforms such as BASE can equip you with almost everything you need to know about scholarships.
I think, yeah, BASE is a really good platform, especially for students fresh out of SPM because you will need all the help you need in finding whichever scholarship that you want to apply to, and honestly just to get some useful info on the do's and don'ts of applying for scholarships really.
If you too are dreaming of a scholarship, then BASE is here to help you. What's gonna happen? Throughout the year, we'll have outreach events to urban and rural schools across the country to increase awareness of scholarship. And when it's time for batch O5 to apply, we'll be having our pinnacle event, which will be a 3-day hybrid event where scholars will share their stories, workshops on how to apply, and basically some general advice.
All right. Nice, everybody. Just to give you guys a little bit more of an introduction to BASE again. Once again, it means BASE actually means the Basic Aid for Scholarship Essentials. And so what we do is that we compile a lot of scholarship holders that are in UEM right now, and we are researching scholarships in order to make it actually easier for students to understand, because we feel that the scholarship application process in the first place is a very formal corporate thing, and it sometimes gets overwhelming for students, especially when you're suddenly out of high school. You have to go into this corporate arena where you're fighting against like so many other students. It actually gets very overwhelming, especially if you're applying to about 12, 15, 13 scholarships out there all together at once. So that's what BASE is supposed to be about. The next slide is about why some of our seniors started BASE. And so what we believed in is that BASE is there in order to bridge the information gap between rural and urban areas about scholarships. And we believe that everyone should have an equal opportunity in applying to scholarships, especially if those are the people that are actually deserving of a scholarship that would need assistance in achieving their dreams. And although there are a lot of scholarships out there that are sort of merit-based, we still feel that if someone were to not be exposed to scholarships even before SPM or even after SPM, they might lose a chance even though they are equally deserving of it against a lot of other students out there. So yeah, moving on, let's just go into this other slide. You are almost done with SPM. This is how your pathway will look like. There are many more other pathways, but these are like the most popular ones. We'll dive deeper into what you can go into after SPM as one of the parts of our talk for today.
So I'll just quickly show you the flow of our session hari ni. So kita akan mulakan dengan introduction, which is what we're doing right now. Lepas tu we have about 3 content themes for you guys to show about. We're going to show you about education. This is like general education, like dekat local, overseas. Lepas tu we'll go into scholarships. You know, we are Yayasan Khazanah scholars. There are some Shell scholars and Petronas scholars who will be sharing today. Lepas tu, this is a chill session. So like sekarang, you guys don't have to buka your camera. This is like with dengan semua orang, but later we'll be having sembang scholarship. This is a chance for you to be dekat dalam satu breakout room with one of these speakers. So this macam like it's really chill. It's sembang. So if you want to, you can open your cameras. You can interact with the speakers. You can ask them anything you want to. After that, we'll come back to the main. We'll be having dual rounds of sembang scholarship. So what we'll do is we'll book up breakout rooms, and then you can join a room with one speaker, and then we'll switch speakers. Yeah. And then we'll be having an advice section where we will share to you the things that we wish we knew tahun lepas during this time. All the mistakes that we made, we'll be telling you guys so you guys don't make the same mistakes lepas ni. And then we'll be having a Q&A, and then we'll be all closing. Right, so I'll quickly introduce our speakers for today. So first up, we have my good friend Muaz Mujahid, who is a YK scholar and he's doing computer science. Would you like to say hi to everyone, Muaz?
Hi everyone, my name is Muaz.
Yeah. Next up, we have Sharman Raj, who is also a YK scholar. So we have 2 YK scholars today. And Sharman is planning to do mathematics, statistics, computer science, everything in that area in the UK, right, Sharman?
Well, the country is not decided yet. But anyways, hi everyone. Hope you have fun today.
Yeah. Next up, we have Harvinia, who is a Shell scholar, and she is not doing chemical engineering, but she is doing business management at Shell. So say hi, Harvinia.
Hi everyone, I'm Harvina, and like he said, I'm not doing STEM, not chemical engineering, I'm doing business management. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, and lastly, we have Yasmin Omara, who is a Petronas scholar, which is like the Petronas you see to Jalan. Yeah, that's like Malaysia's main income. So she's a scholar of the institution. Would you like to say hi to everyone?
Hi everyone, So I will be taking geology and geophysics under Petronas.
Yeah, so you have a wide range of scholars here. So again, remember to take notes. These are really important things, and ask your questions. All right, so I'll hand it over to Charmin to start today's presentation.
All right. Hi, guys. So before we get into like the nitty gritty of all the scholarships, and before we move on to the same among scholarships, okay, so you need to ask yourself a very pivotal question. Have you ever dreamt of studying abroad and basically being like an entire main character moment in your life lah? So if you have, scholarships can really help you achieve that. Next slide, please. Right. Okay, so if some of you, I understand, maybe have never been abroad in your life. Some of you maybe go abroad every year. Like there's like a wide range of like students kat Malaysia ni. So basically this is like a taste. This video is like a taste of one of our friends who's currently studying in Lancaster in the UK. So it's basically like a tester of what studying abroad could be like.
I can see the sky. Birds are flying, clouds are moving by, my heart is light, the moon will be my witness tonight, in my dreams I see myself fly.
Right, so that's basically how your main character moment could look like. But to get into the specifics of it, what are the advantages? And later, as we will discuss, the disadvantages of studying abroad versus studying locally, for example. Okay, we are saying the advantages of studying abroad because most of these scholarships do sponsor you to go abroad, unless of course you're like going for Khazanah Watan or Petronas Watan or something like that. So the advantages of studying abroad is definitely you have access to more world-class facilities. Specifics, we'll get into it a bit later, but just like generally, for example, like Harvard, they give like $17 million in grants. Oxford, they have exclusive internships and so on and so forth. Next, of course, you have a multicultural environment. I think most of us have lived, all of us basically have lived like our entire lives like kat Malaysia je, so we are surrounded by like 99% Malaysians only most of our lives, you know. But then when you go overseas, that's definitely not the case. So you meet different people, use different languages. Maybe you can learn different languages. And then you can also travel, you know, going abroad. It's not all about studying. Like in the UK, you could go to the EU and that's like the Schengen area. So you like boleh move around. You can see France, Germany, blah, blah, blah. So many different countries, you know. And then of course you have different everyday experiences. Ini bukan setakat, oh saya makan fish and chips, bukan makan nasi lemak lah. But then it's memang like different. But like, for example, like public transport in Malaysia is not really that big of a thing. But public transport elsewhere is definitely the walkability, definitely the 4 seasons. Personally, I'm a person who has never seen or like touched snow before. So that is something that I am interested in because as mundane as that sounds, yeah, I've never seen snow before. Then of course you have a larger networking base. Most of you by now should start considering very actively to start a LinkedIn account. But just generally speaking, like the Harvard alumni, Oxford alumni, Cambridge alumni, these are one of the most prominent alumni organizations in the world, and this will definitely help you in your working life. And finally, you have world-recognized certificates. Employability from all these institutions is usually like lebih daripada 80%. So definitely like macam majikan pun, macam like employers pun will look at you more favorably lah. Right, next slide.
But with some pros, there is some cons as well of studying abroad. First of all, being homesick. So being like so far away and the flight tickets are quite expensive. And you may only go back once a year or only like once every 4 years. So definitely you'll feel that homesickness is prevalent in that time. And also, since some colleges don't offer their own accommodation for students, your accommodation is essentially unsecure. For example, if you're studying in University College London, which is smack dab in the middle of London or LSE, it's very hard for you to find like accommodation right in the city center. And if you manage miraculously found one, it's gonna like burn your wallet, man. So because it's so expensive to have such good accommodation at such a strategic location, so most often than not, you often have to take like a 20-minute journey all the way to your campus. Yeah. But other than that, you also have a culture shock. So imagine like you staying in Malaysia for like almost 2 decades of your life before flying abroad. So of course you'll be like bagai rusa masuk kampung, you know. So you'll be shocked by the culture that is significantly different from what we have in Malaysia. So that brings me to the next point also. The culture shock comes hand in hand with the language barrier. So for example, the friends speak French, but you only speak like English and Malay. So how are you going to communicate with them? So these are all problems that we will face, but don't worry. So there are ways that we can overcome this. For example, the language barrier. There's always Google Translate. For example, like me, I'm the best example. So if you don't know already, a fun fact about me is I'm a banana, meaning I can speak Chinese, but I don't know how to read and write Chinese. So that comes a problem with me whenever I want to communicate with my friends or my like juniors ask me questions in Chinese. Like, how the hell do I answer this? All I see are words and lines. So like Google Translate has always been my best friend, and I will forever be indebted to Google Translate for like helping me to translate this. And so you can learn a new language as well. Think of it as a positive way. If you don't understand a new language, you can learn it, and that enriches your experiences in it. And so the next point will be the higher cost of living. So I'm sure you already know that $1 converted to is either 4 or 5 Malaysian ringgit already. What more to say pounds? So imagine like you having a burger here, which is only like 10 ringgit, but a 10-pound burger at the United Kingdom. So when you convert it, you'll be spending a 40 ringgit on a burger, a 40 ringgit on a meal. So that really makes up for the higher cost of living as well. Yeah.
That's great. All right, so for anyone here who is a little bit unfamiliar with what MIT is basically the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. It is a university located in the US, and they are very famous for like scientific research and technological training. They are known for programs in engineering, physical sciences, computer sciences. And the reason why they're really, really famous is because They are, I think, if I'm not mistaken, the top university in most STEM fields, like most STEM courses, etc., etc. And they have very advanced facilities, including this whole list of like super cool things here, like, you know, a nuclear reactor, computation center, wind tunnels, AI lab. You know, these kind of things are facilities that you will only find in MIT. You can't find these things in Malaysia. I mean, I have never seen a nuclear reactor in Malaysia. And imagine like, you know, going to university and it's like a whole ass nuclear reactor there. That's something that you can only get these opportunities when you go overseas, when they have all this funding and all these like facilities already there for you. So that's an added advantage that you guys should be looking at if you're like thinking of going to STEM. Read up about MIT, do some research about MIT, because it's a really important university that most scholarships will have this university in their list for you to apply. This is one of the like universities that you guys should be aiming for if you're planning to go into a STEM field. And other than MIT, other than STEM fields, we also have the humanities. So let's get to know LSE. LSE is known as the London School of Economics and Political Science. And LSE is mainly in contrary to from MIT. LSE is more for the social sciences, for the humanities. And LSE, like just like MIT was in the US, LSE is located in the UK. So they are most known for their programs like in geography, environment, media and comms, economics, and also law. So examples of the important research that has been done by LSE is like, for example, understanding the UK economy, or reforming the law storage time limits of frozen eggs. Yes, really random. I don't know why that's there, but like, just take it, guys. Just accept it. They've done research on frozen eggs and it's important. So the thing about LSE is that it's a really hard university to get into. Out of most of the UK universities where, you know, our seniors are applying and etc., they would say that, you know, you have these requirements for every university, and then LSE has like an extra requirement that you guys have to fulfill. So getting into LSE, and you know, someone who goes to LSE, if you say that I went to LSE, everyone just goes, wow, you are an amazing person, because that's just the level of students that you are, that are in LSE. You know, that's the level, that's the bar. So yeah, anyone who is interested in doing things like economics or something more on the humanities side, LSE should be a university that you guys are looking at. Yeah. Okay.
Yes. Successful Malaysians. So coming from, it just goes to show that no matter where you come from, and no matter how your family background is, you still have a chance to succeed. For example, like me, like I'm from Sarawak, but I still made it here into KY, and I still got myself a scholarship. It doesn't matter where you come from, what race you are, what ethnicity, you still can succeed. Let these people be your inspiration. For example, Yi Zhen Feng, she got into MIT, guys, a bachelor's degree in the class of 2020 from Kelantan. And from Negeri Sembilan, we have Maisha, who graduated from LSE in 2025. And we have Ilmira Murani from Selangor, who graduated from University College London. So let this be your wake up call. So if they can do it, why can't I? So no matter what the results are, just apply, just try, and have big dreams. Because when you have big dreams, no one can stop you. So in order to get there, in order to achieve those big dreams, we have planned to guide you every step of the way by using pre-university. So some of the more affordable options will be matriculation, foundation, diploma, and STPM. So these are more often if you're going towards the local route. And hey, let me just remind you that if you decide to go local for your first degree, it doesn't mean that forever you'll be stuck locally. You can also continue to further your studies in your master's or your PhD overseas. But let me just bring that a bit. So for one of the pre-university pathways for local route will be matriculation. So I was from College Matriculasi Sarawak. Yeah, another fun fact about me. So there are 3 modules that you can choose for. So I was in the system dual semester, which is consists of 1 year, and there's another one called the system 4 semester, called SES, for 2 years. So I was in SES. I was in SDS. So there are 3 modules, mainly Module 1, which does not have computer science. Module 2, which does not have bio, and module 3, which does not have physics. So I took module 1, and in every module, chemistry is compulsory. So it's just the science subjects and also the maths. Yeah. So this matriculation college is all over Malaysia. Like literally every state in Malaysia has one, and it's recognized for local universities and some overseas universities for undergrad studies. So other than matriculation, we have foundation. So foundation can be either by mostly by private universities. So they can have very flexible subjects, like 4 subjects, and they have 2 additional subjects like Islamic studies and English. So the duration of it is quite short, so it's just 1 year, and it's basically tailor-made for the university. So for example, if you take foundation UiTM, so most likely the foundation program for UiTM will be tailored specifically for your ITM degree program. So if you think that you want to pursue your degree in that university, then the foundation at that university will be the right choice for you. Not only is it more cost effective, but it also saves a lot of time. So it's also recognized by local universities for undergrad studies. So the next option we have is diploma, and you'll be taking around 6 to 7 subjects depending on your degree. So the thing about diploma is, even though it's slightly longer, about 2.5 years, it's already recognized by your employee, and it's employers already recognize it, and you can straight away get the job. But if you ever consider to pursue your studies in the future, you are still eligible to pursue a degree. Okay, so the next option we have, which is STPM. So basically, the subject combinations are more of similar to matriculation. So it's an 18-month program, and it consists of 3 semesters. So it's mostly offered by government schools, and the thing about it is it's recognized by a lot of universities. It's recognized by both local and overseas universities for undergrad studies. But these are just the local options. So let's take a look at what options can get you overseas. For an option would be accounting. So this program is tailor-made for accounting. So if you're planning on pursuing finance in accounting, so this program will be the right one for you. So it consists of so in total it'll be 3 years. The first year you'll be taking FIA, then you'll be taking ACCA for 2 years. So some institutions speak Intech and TALIS, and it's already recognized by employers, meaning you already get a job with an ACCA. Next up, we have the 3 most famous ones for you to go overseas. These are all recognized worldwide, but for ADTP it's mainly NAMA, the American gun. So it's for US universities only. But IB and A-level, you can go anywhere you want. So for international baccalaureate, so it has 6 fixed subjects combinations, and the main difference about IB and A-level, yes, you can go both overseas. But the thing about IB is what lacks in depth in IB is in A-level. So IB is more to the breadth of the subjects, while A-level is more in the depth. So IB, in other words, IB has a wide range of subjects and only has 6 subjects, and it's a wide range of subjects you can choose. So, but it's not that in depth. But A levels, they only offer you 3 to 4 subjects. But even though it's not in wide, you only get to explore a few subjects, but it's in depth. So you get to explore more about the concepts and all. So for IB, some of the famous institutions would be TKC, MCKK, KMB, and Nexus. So they are still recognized locally and also overseas. So for A levels, you can have 3 to 4 subjects. So depending on your choice, it can be as niche as having physics, bio, maths, and geography, or also very typical physics, chemistry, or double maths. So some of the famous institutions that currently they go to will be KYUM, yeah, our school, College Mara Seremban, KTJ, Sunway, yeah. So the next one will be American Degree Transfer Program. So IB, you also have 6 subjects, so meaning it's a lot wider in breadth. So it also carries forward your credit hours to your US universities. And some famous institutions are Intech and Taylor's, and it's mainly short, it's only 1 year, while others take 2 years or like 18 to 24 months.